Now I know what you're thinking. Tyler, what is this? Don't judge me. It's the holidays. But, look, in today's video, I wanted to bring you guys 3 of the gaming cryptos that I thought had a ton of potential going into 2024. Now, many of you are aware of the fact that I actually have been talking a lot about gaming cryptos, especially in the last week, because of the behind the scenes alpha that I was getting in terms of marketing and in terms of what companies are doing. I made a video about all of that. Check down in the comments below. Now, in HGAccess, which is a platform in which we are launching on Monday, so stay tuned for that, we actually made a post right around a week ago that said, listen, over the last few weeks, I've noticed a dramatic uptick in the amount of gaming-based companies that are running marketing. We're seeing tons of gaming launchpads, ecosystem, and games in general reach out to spend tens of thousands of dollars. And of course, I did add a little bit more alpha about the fact that they were reaching out for Alex Becker and what all I thought. Feel free to pause and read this if you like. Now, in this post, I gave a couple examples of some ones that I thought were doing well. Of course, the main ones being here, of course, things like Stepin, Dega World, Seedify, Immutable, Gala, and a few more. And in today's video, I want to actually break down 3 of these ones that I actually think have a ton of potential. And we're going to be going with just these 3 right here: Dega World, Seedify, and Immutable, because these are 3 that I personally do hold a ton of. Like they hold a pretty substantial weight in my own portfolio. And I want to give you a little bit of insight as to what they are and how they work and why, of course, they have been doing well, especially since this post. Now, as I mentioned before, HGAccess will be going live on Monday. We are going to change the way that crypto works on this in terms of YouTube and media. So make sure you're ready for that. But first and foremost, let's talk a little bit about again, Dega World. Well, to get an idea of what type of potential Dega World has, before we even talk about who they are and what they do, let's just look at their chart and get a feel for this thing. Now, as you all know, again, I posted about Dega World on December 19th because, of course, we got that sweet behind the scenes alpha. That was right here. Since that post did go out, of course, Dega is now up a substantial 242%, at one point being up 320%. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, what in the world is Dega? Well, Dega is a company that's building an ecosystem of games that they are actively developing themselves, and will eventually onboard other people's games as their software and as their tech does continue to get built. Now, they already have one game that is live. It's called Degen Play, and although we can't actively play the game on the YouTube channel because I don't want to get flagged, the way in which it works is that you will have the ability to make guesses / bets / gambles whether or not Bitcoin's price is going to go up in the next minute or down in the next minute. And of course, if you bet it goes down and it goes down, you win. If you bet it goes up and it goes down, you lose. Now, of course, because of this and because this is a high-paced game, there is a ton of volume on it, especially already considering it is live at this given point. And as we do continue to see, the volume increase, the user base increase, as they continue to market and get the game out there, that obviously means that there will be a higher rate of transactions. And as they do have more transactions, there's more transaction fees. Now, what I do like about them is that they've actually developed multiple NFTs as well, and to kind of pair up with each one of these games. As you can see here, if we go over to their NFT marketplace, they have again already launched some of the first sets of NFTs. The first ones being the GOAT Degens. Now, these were important because these GOAT Degens are the ones that are attached and tied to Degen Play. Now, interestingly enough, as Degen Play does continue to develop and it does continue to, generate more and more revenue, there is revenue share that goes out to NFT holders as well as token holders, meaning that as this game gets bigger, generates more fees, it gets injected to both the NFT holders and the token holders, and then clearly that makes everyone happy, especially those who hold the token price. Now, this is the reason we've seen so much volume. This is the reason why we've seen the price do so well recently, is because it's already, there's a developed product. There's already a product that is live, that is active. And because of that, clearly people are like, there's an active product that's generating people revenue share already. So in that same breath, the token itself is becoming more and more valuable. So they're willing to buy it at higher prices. It's great. Now, what I do personally love is that they're not just stopping at Degen Play, right? As I mentioned before, they're continuing to develop their own games. There's a second game coming out in which it is 90% complete already. So there will be another NFT drop directly related to that game, as well as the fact that as that does go live, it's going to generate more fees, which will be injected back towards the token. Okay. And so all of these things, of course, we will cover in a full video eventually later on in probably, 2-3 weeks from now. But I wanted to give you just a quick rundown because, again, the fact that they have a product that is live already is extremely important. They've already developed their own NFT marketplace in which they can sell a lot of their NFTs and launch their NFTs, and people can as well. They already have a second game that's 90% launched, and they've actively started the revenue share process. All of these things tell me, in my opinion, this is an easy pick, especially considering the fact this thing is at a $3.6 million market cap. So although this run up does look good, and although this run up, is pretty damn impressive, it easily could be $10 to $20 million market cap if the momentum does continue as they continue to develop. So of course, that does put them at the first place mark in today's video going forward. Now, moving forward, we have Seedify. Now, Seedify is one that we've talked about on multiple occasions. Again, it is one that we also talked about in HGAccess. Its price is about even from where it was where we made that call. But what Seedify does is they actually provide a launch pad or a platform in which companies can go to raise funds, to get, more brand awareness, and to launch their own gaming ecosystems or games in which they have a token attached to it. What you can see here, you can actually do a couple things, but as an investor, it's quite a simple process, okay? What you would have to do is you would have to buy sfund, which is the Seedify.fund token. As you can see over the year, it has been absolutely rallying. Now, as you do buy those tokens, what you're then going to do is after you, have a certain set amount that reaches the tier thresholds, you are going to stake those tokens. Now, once you stake those tokens, what you can actually see is from that point forward, all you need to do is just check the whitelist, and once you have enough BNB for fees and BUSD for purchase, you can connect your wallet, and then you will have access to the tokens that then do launch on Seedify itself. Now, one thing that I do personally love about this is the fact that they give guaranteed refunds, which is something I do not see in the space almost ever. What you can see here is that all of Seedify's IGOs have a guaranteed refund policy of 7 to 14 days to keep a healthy balance between community needs and project compliance. So if they launch something that goes to absolute shit, you can say, listen, I want my refund, and they'll give you a refund. Okay. Now, what I do like about this again is that it is a tiered thing. It's not very singular. It's multifaceted in the sense that, say for example, if you have 2.5K of their tokens, you get 5.8 pool weight. If you have 10K tokens, you get 26 pool weight. And it is exponential in the sense that the more you get, the even more you get. The fact that it compounds. So I do like all of those things. Okay. Now they have a very good track record. They have done some extremely good launches, and that is the reason why their price has done so well this year, especially as these gaming cryptos started to catch momentum around November. That is the reason why Seedify has done well. Now, in all honesty, they are still extremely far away from their all-time high, right? Their all-time high is still a 6x from here. So I do believe that is recapturable. I think that's well within the realm of possibilities, especially if they continue to have good launches. And of course, because so many of their holders stake their token for access to these different games that are launching, that does put them in a position in which they can have more of a stable rise to the top, which is of course what we like to look for. Now, some of the different ones that they have, of course, are Farcana, Animalia, Evermoon, Storm Warfare, Haven's Compass, Bloodloop, and many more. Bloodloop is backed, I believe, by Alex Becker. He's a part of it to some degree. And you guys know we talked about that in HGAccess as well, the fact that many companies are looking for him. So clearly, there are some possibilities for Bloodloop to do well. And if they do well, then obviously Seedify should do well. Okay, so that's number 2, and that's one of the ones that I am having high on my list. Now, moving forward, let's go into number 3, and don't worry, of course, although I am covering 3 today, I will be covering many more in the future, so make sure you do subscribe so you don't miss them. Now, let's go into the last one. The last one is Immutable. What is Immutable? Well, the reason why I chose Immutable is because Immutable takes what a lot of different companies do and they combine it all into one ecosystem. So for example, they have their own games, they have their gaming ecosystem, they have a platform to help developers build games, build gaming ecosystems, and then they have platforms to provide services to the games that launch in their ecosystem, right? And so the reason that I like Immutable is because, as they mentioned, they are a one-stop shop platform for building and scaling mainstream ready Web3 games. And in markets, right, in which crypto gaming is doing well, it is destiny, at least in my opinion, for Immutable to do well. They have that early mover advantage because they've been around for a very long time. As you can clearly see, their price is doing extremely well, with it starting the year right around 0.43 and all the way to upwards of $2.50. They are also very far away from their all-time high, but a nice little 4 or 5x gets them there. And so in my opinion, with a company like this one that does such a good job at providing services and platforms for gaming cryptos, when gaming cryptos do well, the platform's going to do well. It's pretty easy to see. Okay, now some of the things about them that we can of course see here is that, again, they have a ton going on. If we do go to the About Us section for the company itself, let's take a look a little bit about who they are, who they've partnered with, so you get an idea of why they are so big already. I mean, their market cap, I do believe at this given point, is sitting right around $3 billion. So this isn't a 20, 30, 50xer, I don't believe, but definitely 5x, 10x is possible. Okay, now as you can see here, they do have a ton of partners in terms of Nirvana Capital, Animoca Brands, Naspers, Coinbase, Continue Capital, Tencent, which we all know that name, Galaxy Digital, and more. Now, they do a ton in terms of what they're going to bring. Of course, you can build your NFT project with ease. Of course, you can develop and build your own games with them. Looking at products here, you can see that they have the Passport, which is instant wallet onboarding. You can do all-in-one transaction infrastructure as you do build your game. So obviously, it's like a payment processor. Immutable ZK EVMs, in which it provides EVM ZK rollups for games. Immutable X, which is of course optimized for game-specific ZK rollups. And there's a ton more. more. In terms of building, they have platforms to build if you're a developer. They have more products, game services, they have expert finders, and much more. Of course, everything you need to build a successful game. And so clearly, if crypto gaming is doing well, they're providing a lot of the service to a lot of the games that are doing well. And so with that in mind, this was an easy pick. This is one of those ones that I have in my main portfolio, and I do believe it will continue to do well as time does go on. But as I mentioned before, don't worry, I'm not going to just pause it here forever, but this is the end of today's video because I don't want to overwhelm you with information. But make sure that you stay tuned for two things. Thing number one is HGAccess launching Monday, because again, we are going to absolutely change the way that you receive media and you receive content and information and alpha in the world of YouTube and on the world of Twitter. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Number two, make sure you do subscribe, because I'm going to be dropping another top 3 gaming coins video towards the middle of January, and you're not going to want to miss that one because there's going to be even more alpha than you got in this one. So of course, I hope you guys did appreciate and enjoy today's video, and I will see you all next time. Happy holidays and peace out.